Okay, so on your class kick assignment, you have an assignment that has a graph, and then on the bottom of it, it has pictures like this, okay? So we're going to be looking at where is Earth's water, because remember, our science focus is saltwater and freshwater on Earth, okay? So first, I want you to look at this cup, okay? I have this cup, and in here is our Earth's salt water, okay? So here's our Earth's salt water.
That's so.
It's water. It's Earth's salt water.
I hit my finger right here. What did you put in that?
It's not literally salt water. We're using.
Can I drink it?
Quiet. Okay, this is our Earth's fresh water.
Whoa. Oh. What happened if you mix them together?
Okay, so what do you see from looking at our experiments?
Is that fresh water or
This, the blue is the salt water. The oil, the clear, is the
fresh water?
fresh water. So what can you conclude from this? What things do you
Wait, did you try
realize?
salt?
What things do you realize now?
Are we
Look at the
gonna
graph.
use this?
Look at the graph too.
Play-Doh. Yes, this is
So what can you conclude about Earth's salt water and fresh water?
We're going to use this for science, right?
Yes, right off.
Okay, we'll put it like
This is salt water,
Oh,
and
this.
then this is fresh water.
Yeah. Can I see? Oh, wait, the blue thing
Okay,
is
so what do you
water?
Yeah. Okay, focus. Dylan. Okay, so what do you see? Do we have a lot of fresh water on Earth, or do we have a lot of salt water? We have a lot of salt water, right? Do we have half of fresh water? Do we have maybe a third of fresh water? We have a tiny percentage of fresh water on our planet. Remember, which one can we drink? Salt water or fresh water?
Fresh water.
We can drink fresh water.
You can drink salt water, but it's not healthy.
I mean, you can physically drink it, but it's not good. And you really can't drink a lot of it because our bodies cannot handle that much salt. Marley?
You can drink salt water only if you add it in hot water.
No, that's only to kill bacteria and fresh water.
You can't boil it.
Because if you boil salt water, the only thing that happens when you boil salt water is that the water evaporates and then the salt stays all at the bottom. So it doesn't take out the salt.
I know how to.
So remember when I told you, if you want to become a billionaire or a trillionaire,
I know how.
you need to invent a way for us to drink salt water, and then remember me because I told you. I'm just kidding.
I know how.
We'll talk about that later. Okay, so now let's go on to our class kick assignment. Class kick. Oh, I didn't open my. Okay, so on here. That's not my name. Okay, so we were first talking about our graph, right? So look at these on your class kick assignment. It's towards the bottom of the page. Okay, it's on the bottom of the page. Yes, Ariana?
I know how, like, actually.
Okay, we'll talk about it later. Come on, focus. Mohamed, mask up, please. Okay, so look at the graph. So what percentage of fresh water do we have on Earth? What does it say on the top? What percentage? What percentage of fresh water do we have on Earth?
1%.
It's not 1%.
1%.
2
2.5.
2.5, 2 and 5/10. So almost 3%. Dylan.
If we rounded it, would
If we rounded, it would be about 3%. Elia, tapa boca. Sophie, Merle, take your hood off, please. Okay, so what percent is the other saline water? So other 0.9, so almost 1%. Okay, so that's other salt water that is in like lakes and reservoirs. Okay. Mohammed class kick. So now in the ocean salt water, what percentage is that? Do you see it? What percentage? It should be on your class kick assignment. Dylan, stop.
96.5.
Thank you, Sophie and Bo. 96 and 5/10%. That's almost it's on your class kick assignment. So that's a lot. That's almost 100. That's almost all of it, right? Just like we saw in here. We have up to here is liquid, but only this much is fresh water. So this is the 96% of ocean salt water. Yes, Emma?
Mine is still moving. And I think I'm correct.
Okay, that's fine. Yes, Ariana?
It's not about water, but what is that under your car? Get out.
We'll talk about it later.
It's been bugging me for like a long time.
Okay. Okay, so which water source contains the least amount of water? Fresh or ocean?
Is that a spider thing?
Mohammed?
What is that?
Mohammed, I'm trying to teach science right now. Thank you. Okay. So let's go to the top. Let's look at part 1. Make a prediction. Is there more fresh water or salt water on Earth? What did you think before we did the experiment and before we put it together? Did you think that there was more fresh water? Or did you think there was more salt water?
There's more salt water.
You thought there was more salt water before? Dylan? Dylan, don't worry about that. You need to focus on me, okay? Dylan. Okay? Thank you. Okay. So now by looking at the data right here, this is all the numbers that we need to know about Earth and water. Okay?
Salt water.
Elian, tapa boca. Are you on this? Elian, ¿estás aquí? Okay, so water source. So ocean, seas, and bays. The volume of ocean on Earth is 321 million in miles. Okay? Kilometers, and then percent of water, percent of total fresh water, or percent of total water. Ice caps, glaciers, and permanent snow. What percentage of water is that on Earth? It's right here. Say it. 1.
That's 1.7.
Good. 1 and 74/100%. So that's almost 2%. Groundwater. So that's in what percentage? 1 and 69/100. So okay, so then fresh water is that more than or less than 1% for fresh water? It's less than, right? Because it has to have 1 ones. Saline, so that's other salt water on our planet that's not in the ocean. So, excuse me, what percentage is that? 93/100%. Okay, and everything else is even less than that. It's not even 1%. Okay? All right, let's answer some questions on the bottom. Okay. So look closely at these graphs. The first one shows all of the water on Earth. This is the first one. So this is also like this one that we made right here. So this is the same graph as this, okay? Elian, close the Chromebook now. Close it. Thank you. Okay, so now the next one. The second graph, the second one takes the fresh water from the top and shows where it is located. So this is this part right here, but it's broken up into where it comes from. So what places does our fresh water come from? Thank you, Emma, for looking at your graph. Where does our fresh water come from? What does it say on the graph? Yes, Dylan? Groundwater, good, Dylan. And Emma? Glaciers and ice caps, okay? So that little 2.5% of fresh water comes from these things, okay? So then, let's look at the third one. The third graph takes the surface water from the top of the second one. So this is other fresh surface water that we have on Earth. And it shows where that is found. So where is it found? What does it say on the graph, Dylan? Lakes. And what else? Ground ice and permafrost. What else does it say on the top? Swamps, rivers, soil moisture. So this is like, remember when Naya has to go to the pond to dig out water? She gets it from soil moisture. That's the kind of water that she's getting because it's in the dirt, right? Okay, atmosphere. Our atmosphere has 3% of fresh water as well. 3% of the 1 2/10%. Okay, where else does it come from? Soil moisture, swamps and marshes, rivers, and other living things. So that's like animals and that die and then they decompose into the ground. Okay? Yes, Dylan. Marina. Thank you. Okay, now let's answer some questions on the bottom. Ready? Yes, Ariana. After we're done with the questions, okay?
Can you answer that after? What is that?
Of course, when we're done. Okay, number 1, ready? Start typing. Elian, you're gonna write it on your paper right here. So get your pencil. Ready, Mohammed? Question number 1, it's on the bottom. So scroll down. Which water source contains the least amount of water?
Surface water.
Sophie?
Fresh water.
Fresh water. Elian, write it down, please. Fresh water.
Because, right?
Nope, we can just say fresh water.
Yes.
Or we can say the least amount of water source is fresh water.
No, I'm gonna just put fresh water.
Okay.
Sophia.
Number 2, which has more water, freshwater lakes or saltwater lakes?
Fresh water. Salt water. No, salt water.
Wait, but this is asking about lakes. So I think I'm going to need to go back and look at the table. So let's look at lakes, which has more. So your lakes, we have fresh and then salt lakes, salty lakes, like Utah. Okay, so let's compare the percentages. Okay, so freshwater lakes is 0.007%. So 0.007. And then, how much is the saline lakes? What numbers?
0.007.
0.06.
Decimal.
Okay, so we're comparing. Which one? What do we have? 7 thousandths, is it less than, greater than, or equal to 6 thousandths?
6,000 is greater because the 0. Look. There was a 0 right here, and there's another 0 right
Well, that
there.
wasn't the 0. That was the comparing sign. Yeah. So that was
the
what?
7,000.
7 thousandths is what?
Bigger than
Bigger. It's
6,000.
greater than, right? So the 7 thousandths, that's the fresh lakes. Okay. So now let's go back. Question 2. Which has more water, freshwater lakes or saltwater lakes?
Fresh water.
Freshwater lakes. So, fresh water lakes are greater. Period. Write it down. Type it in. Thank you, Merly. Thank you, Thomas.
Wait, what?
We're on number 2.
I know, but I thought it was the other way around.
We're lakes.
Oh, wait.
Freshwater lakes or saltwater lakes? We're looking at the graph. So you have to look at the graph and look at these 2 percentages and compare them.
Are you okay?
Number 2, did you write it down?
No.
Okay, number 2, write it down.
What? I'm gonna turn it on.
Quickly. Mohamed, pull your mask up. Okay, Noah, you got it? You like your book, but focus.
Tomorrow we have school.
That's a question for later. Okay, number 3. Is all groundwater freshwater?
No. Yes.
Sophie?
No.
No? Why not? Give me some evidence. Give me some evidence.
You can see there's no fresh water in where it says ground.
So if we look at the table and we look at groundwater, here I have it on paper. You have it on your classic assignment above. Then groundwater breaks up into 2 parts, fresh and saline, salt. So is all of it groundwater? Is all the groundwater fresh water? No, some of it is what? Salt water. Good. So we need to say no, comma, because some of the groundwater is salt.
Most of the water is underground. Most of it isn't clean.
But that's not the question. The question is it all fresh water? No, because some of it is salt water.
Wait, but how am I supposed to go up to the north like that?
I don't know. We'll figure it out, okay? Write it down.
Molly?
Number 3, you got it? Elian,
Yes.
try it. Okay, number 4. Ready? What % of Earth's fresh water is found in lakes and rivers? So our answer needs to be a percentage, right? So we need to look at Earth's fresh water. I'm gonna take this. Bo, what do you think?
0.0072.
So Earth's fresh water, lakes and rivers. So we need to look at our table again, right? Look at your table. So look for fresh water for lakes and rivers. So look for lake, fresh water. What percentage of lake fresh water do we have? Okay, so first look for lakes. I'm gonna put it away.
0 and 25.
For which one? For lakes?
No, lake has no percentage of water.
Yes, it does. So look for lakes. Find lakes. And then right below lakes, it says fresh. Do you see it? Okay, so where it says fresh, we're gonna scroll all the way over, which is what percentage, Dylan? Focus.
0.26.
0.26? Oh yeah, 26. Okay. So then we need, that's the lake. So now how much of river? Percentage of fresh
You have to
water?
write 0.6, something like that.
Hold on.
0.006.
0.006. Okay, so because we need to find two, we need to find the lakes and the rivers put together. What should we do with these two percentages? Elian, add them. Thank you. Elian, tapa boca, escribiendo. No,
La segunda. No me dejes.
yo no estoy hablando de la segunda, estamos en la cuarta. Thank you. Okay, we add them. So just like we did this morning, you line up your decimals. So 0 thousandths plus 6 thousandths. 6 thousandths. 6 hundredths plus 0 hundredths. 6 hundredths. 2 tenths plus 0 tenths. 2 tenths. Bring down your decimal. 0 ones plus 0 ones. 0. Okay, so what percentage? 0.266 thousandths percent. That's not even half of a percent, because we need 5 tenths to have a half of one whole. Okay, number 5. Thank you, Leon. You got it, number 4? Mohammed?
No.
Ponle no. Ponle fresh water. Yes. Okay, number 5. What percent of Earth's surface fresh water is found in the atmosphere? So the atmosphere is our air around us all the way until it hits outer space. Sophie, question.
I don't know. I just looked at the graph.
Elian, no.
I just looked at the graph.
You looked at the graph. I love it.
And I looked at surface other freshwater, and I got 1.2%.
Okay, that's other fresh water, but look at the next graph next to that. There's more specific right there.
Oh, I can't see it. Oh, I see.
It's on your class cake assignment and on the paper right in front of you.
3.0.
3.0. So that's how much percentage?
Yeah.
3%.
No, it's not. That one always has it.
Mohammed, what's up, bro?
Here, it says atmosphere too.
Yeah, that's the atmosphere. Oh, surface freshwater found in the atmosphere. Yeah. So this is the atmosphere water that's found in the surface and other sources. So this graph is this little part right here where it says surface / other freshwater. So the atmosphere is part of that surface other water. So how much of atmosphere is that? It's 3% of the 1 and 2 tenths. Okay, so what percentage?
3%.
3.0%. Okay. Did you write it down?
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions for today?
No.
All right, good job. Today was great.